Hey, you ever worry about heating your house in the wintertime? Boy, I tell you, I sure do. I got one of them old oil burners from the 80s. I mean, it's been a good unit, but it's getting pretty old, you know. I had a maintenance contract on it for years, and one of the repair guys told me that back in the day it was one of the top of the line models. But now, it's just getting old. I canceled that contract after a few years, though. It got too expensive, I slowly started to figure out how to fix the thing myself. Change the oil filter, the pump filter, put in a new nozzle a couple of times a year. I once even had to take apart the entire fire chamber. All that old fire blanket was crumbling and falling in front of the photosensitive electrode. Hell, I didn't even know there was a photosensitive electrode. I mean, that shit just stressed me out, kept shutting down. I mean, how do you know what you don't know, It reminds me of when I was a kid. I'd go out to my grandparents' house in the wintertime. They went through winter after winter with just a wood stove. And I tell you, it got cold up there. I mean, hell, the Canadian border was only a couple hours north, Anyway, my grandfather was up so many times each night, loading that stove full of wood. I mean, the good thing was he had narcolepsy, so he was up all the time anyway, so it kind of worked out. But it was a lot of work to keep those pipes from freezing in that old farmhouse. I mean, when it got really cold, those pipes in the kitchen would freeze up, and we'd have to drink water from a 5-gallon pail with one of those old enamel ladles, the white ones with the red trim. Yeah, sometimes they'd stack hay bales up on the side of the house where the wind really blew, to try and keep it warmer, but I mean, sometimes it was just too cold, and no matter what you did, nothing worked. Anyway, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that, but I never really realized how much attention a fella has to pay to his boiler when you own your own home, I took it for granted, all those years living in an apartment, just renting. Hell, now everyone I talk to has some sort of boiler story or nightmare or drama to relay, The thing I gotta deal with is that underground oil tank I have in the front yard there. Sort of like a ticking time bomb, You hear all those horror stories, Sometimes I read them in the paper about a leaking tank that contaminates the soil, and the homeowners have to shell out thousands of dollars to get it all cleaned up. The EPA gets involved. Hell, I just want a warm house in February, but I gotta worry about all this shit. I mean, sometimes it makes a guy think about moving to California. But by the way it's going out there, they might have too much heat, you know what I mean? My buddy got one of those tankless deals, those heaters, they heat up on demand. It's this little unit that mounts on the wall. Kind of looks like an astronaut's pack with a bunch of supply lines hooked up to it. Kind of neat. Anyway, maybe I should look into getting one of those. Maybe I should look into that geothermal business, All that free heat just trapped under the house, waiting to be used. Too bad a guy couldn't just dig down to it, Hook up into it. Dig a little at a time. Hell, I should try that. I mean, how hard could it be? I wonder how far down you gotta go, though. My luck, you probably gotta dig a hole all the way to the Earth's core, passing the 666 layers of hell along the way, Most likely getting trapped in one of those layers by my own gluttony or hubris or some shit. All because I just wanted to keep my house warm in the wintertime. Maybe I'll just stick with this old boiler after all.